Some people are calling this the Arab Spring of the United States. It's called Occupy Wall Street, and it's a protest that sprung as an idea about 2 months ago by an activist magazine called Adbusters, and since then has turned into one of the biggest revolts against corporate greed in the United States. Because all I saw on TV about the protests were the number of arrests made, stories about police macing protesters, and other non-welcoming things, I felt a little frightened to go. But I knew I had to see for myself and make my own judgment on what's going on. When I first arrived near Liberty Square, there were a lot of cops standing in the middle of the roads. So I am in front of the Occupy Wall Street protests that have been going on. This is week 2 in the protests, and I just want to say that I just want to tell you what is going on. First of all, our society is divided into 2 classes, the owners class and the working class. The owners class are those 1% individuals who have millions and billions of dollars put away, and the working class is the other 99%. And that is the class that is revolting against Wall Street, the owning class, the ones who have all the money, the ones who get the bank bailouts, the reason for the mortgage crisis and so forth. So I'm actually gonna go head over there right now, and I'm gonna record. And I'm also kind of curious why isn't this on the mass media? I mean, I don't know, because maybe mass media is owned by the 1%. I mean, that can have something to do with it. And also, why are police labeling this as a 1.34, which they use against riots and so forth? I mean, it's supposed to be a very peaceful protest. I mean, I hear music and stuff, so let's actually go there right now, and I will show more over there. As I got closer, I realized that I was daunted for no reason. People were playing music very loudly and dancing in the middle of Liberty Square. There were signs all over the streets, most of them handmade and with anti-capitalism messages. I spoke to one of the protesters who was dancing.
Well, today was a good day. Well, we played music for hours and hours and hours, and you could hear by my hoarse voice, I've been screaming and yelling and just, praising what we came here to do and fight Wall Street, But any questions you have?
What is it exactly that you want to do? What is your accomplishment over here, all these people?
We're trying to shut down Wall Street. We're trying to get back the middle class. We're trying to, we're having a general assembly now, so I don't really want to talk, talk too loud. So you can ask me still questions and I'll still answer. But
how much longer, do you think it'll be? How many more weeks? How many more days are people going to continue protesting until? Do you think?
Here for 8 days, so it could last 3 weeks. It could last 2. It could even last a month or so. I don't know. We're going to stay here until we get stuff accomplished.
It was a little hard for me to believe that over 100 people have been arrested since the protests began.
I just hope that there's change, and I hope they stop looking at us like we're trying to be these violent people, because we're not. This is a peaceful demonstration, and we're just demanding equality. So many frustrated college dropouts, graduates, and current students, and unemployed people, and we need a change, because this is not good. It feels like there's no future from here.
This is what the mass media do not want you to see. They do not want you to see the peaceful side of the protests, but they will instead jump to the scene when a fight breaks out or arrests have been made. Some are actually saying that people over here are influenced by the protests in Tahrir Square. I think that they might be right. This is the third Western country, save for Spain and Greece, who are protesting. Who have actually, protested. This one's interesting. This one, 23 years, 3 science degrees, stellar degrees, $130,000 of debt because of my parents died. Get a job where I'm trying. The protests have been very similar to the ones that happened in Egypt earlier this year, where people took to the streets to fight against mistreatment by the Egyptian government and demanded that their then-president Hosni Mubarak step down. Following the Egyptian protests came anti-government revolts from other Arab countries. But is the United States following their steps too? Are we headed for a revolution? Demonstrators are frustrated with the way that the government treats them by ignoring their needs and only tending to the needs of the wealthy. On October 3, 2008, the Senate passed a $700 billion bank bailout for mortgage-based securities that were in danger of defaulting. As a result, there have been budget cuts on healthcare, education, and other resources that benefit the lower to middle class. Even though President Obama is proposing to have higher taxes on the wealthy, the working class is worried that the bill will never be passed.
These people have to be held accountable for what they do. The capitalistic system isn't concerned about the general welfare of everybody, and that's what's really troublesome, whoever's walking down Wall Street isn't concerned about the homeless person that's there asking for money. And for whatever the reason they know, that person could have easily lost their job. It's a quick and downward spiral. Somebody can easily lose their job, lose their house. It can happen to anybody in the snap of a finger. So we're just trying to raise awareness about all of this. And hopefully people can get the word and we can get more people to come and help support us. Because without change, nothing's going to happen. A lot of people talk about how things are kind of on the uprise, but nothing's going to change unless we force it to change.
The protesters expressed in their pro-socialist movement how tired they are of living in a society that is running in the hands of capitalism. They also made it clear that they will stay here until they do get economic equality. For more information on the Occupy Wall Street protests, please go to www.occupywallstreet.org.